Today on CityCast DC. It has been a rough few months here in DC. Thousands of residents have lost jobs. There was that federal takeover. Oh yeah, and the government is currently shut down. Even at the best of times, I think we can all agree that DC can be a tough city, and sometimes we all need to have a little cry about it. But as it turns out, DC is actually a great city for public crying. A couple of years ago, I talked to Kiara McGowan from the now viral TikTok account Crying in DC. And honestly, it is one of my favorite episodes we've ever done. You'll laugh, and you might cry. But either way, now is a great time to grab the tissues and talk about how Kiara is making space for DC's public criers. Today is Wednesday, October 29th. I'm Bridget Todd, and here's what DC is talking about. Okay, Kiara, your TikToks have really taken off. I saw your amazing profile with the amazing photos in the Washington Post. How have people been reacting? What's been the reaction to these TikToks?
People have been enjoying them. They've been enjoying them way more than what I thought. It's been a lot of community building so far, which has been really fun to see. I've been getting people emailing me hey, if you ever want a friend or you want to do something in the area, let me know. And people have been suggesting places for me to cry. So it's been received really, really well. But everything is just going so fast. So it's just a whole bunch of stuff going on.
Why do you think it's resonating so much with the DC community specifically?
I think that we're just all going through something right now. That's just kind of what it seems to me. My most recent video was about me crying in Adams Morgan, and I posted about how just I am just grieving kind of my past life in terms of coming up here and what it was when I was when I had a job, when I was employed, when I was living in a safe space and stuff like that. And I just was grieving that while I was going to the bus stop on my way to the bar to work in the morning, and everyone was just responding to that about how they feel the same way. A lot of it was coming from COVID in terms of what things used to be before the pandemic started. So I think, I don't know if this is too much of me to say, maybe I'm vocalizing it for a lot of people, and a lot of people are resonating with that.
Yeah, I mean, does part of you think that we didn't fully grieve the loss of what our lives might have looked like or been like, or, hopes that we had for our lives that are now completely different because of COVID?
Absolutely. 100%. We did not grieve at all. We're just go back to work. We worked through it. We literally worked through it.
What does crying in public do for you? I think that it's something that people think of as happening privately, or if it happens at all, why intentionally do it outside?
Yeah, I get this question a lot, and there was really no intention behind it. I'm just outside all the time.
You're an outside girly. Yeah, outside cat.
I'm an outside girly, and I think just me in general, what I've always been is someone who just goes outside to spend time by myself, And I feel the best way to process my feelings is outside. I would just be crying, and I never really thought of it as a thing until my friend and we were having conversations and brainstorming, and he was this is a thing in New York. And I was oh, let me just catalog it being silly. And then I guess it just resonated, but it was never a thing for me to try to make. It was just something that I always did.
Do you think there's something about DC that makes it a place where crying in public is seen a little bit differently?
Probably. I think as someone who used to work on the Hill, everyone just wants to have this air of oh, I work on the Hill, da-da-da-da. It's
my life is perfect.
Yeah, it's okay, you're a staff assistant and you never seen the person you worked with. No shade. You know what I mean? No shade. But I think to me, DC has a personality, but it's trying to pretend it has another personality, right? So DC has this amazing culture that it's always had. And I think people who are transplants come in and try to make this culture something that it's not. So everyone is all pomp and circumstances. They are oh, I work on the Hill, or they're all oh, I lobby on the Hill. No, I'm not going to cry because I don't cry. Why would I cry? I have a perfect job, da-da-da. And people try to put on these airs about how amazing it is because they live in DC, when the reality is it's just a city like every other thing that has its quirks and ebbs and flows. And it's really difficult to also live in this city. And I feel people try to act like it's not. Studio apartments are $2,800 for 383 square feet. like, how are we affording this? Like, there are real issues in the city that we do need to cry about, but I think people try to like have such a facade of everything is perfect because they live in DC that they don't really want to show emotion.
It's not an easy city to live in. It's like a city where it can feel like a lot of competition. If you move here at a certain time in your life, people that you think of as like your friends, your peers, can also in a weird way feel like your competitors, which I think can make it just feel like a little bit of a weird place to express that vulnerability.
Absolutely. It's hard to live here as someone low income. Like, I am really struggling finding an apartment right now. Like, I'm not even gonna, it's like really hard. I was literally on the steps of DuPont Circle crying last night because I cannot find an apartment. So there's that. And I have met a lot of people who say that they feel really lonely in this city because of that competitiveness, which is, I think, once again, kind of goes back to my earlier statement where it's like, you know, we have all these transient people who are like pompous and like all this stuff who think that things are great. But like, it's almost as if a lot of people here are really afraid to show their true personalities and like really let it show.
Hey, DC. With everything happening in the political world right now, I've got a chance for you to come together and dig deeper. Double Exposure Investigative Film Festival, where investigative journalism meets cutting-edge documentary, is happening Thursday, October 30th through Sunday, November 2nd, right here in DC. This year's lineup explores how truth, trust, and power are being reshaped in real time. There's the U.S. premiere of Eugene Jarecki's Golden Globe-winning deep dive into WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange called The $6 Billion Man, and Cover Up, the new film from Oscar winner Laura Poitras and Emmy winner Mark Obenhaus, along with 23 more film premieres never before seen in Washington. Plus, there's panels and workshops with the journalists and filmmakers behind the films. In a moment when facts and narratives are constantly shifting, Double Exposure is a place to gather and discover, to question and connect. Catch the full lineup and get your tickets at dxfest.com. That's dxfest.com. When people see you crying in public, like, how do they respond?
No one has ever said anything to me.
They're just like, I'm going to pretend to be looking down at my phone.
I'm not going to lie. I feel like I've been going through everything and crying in DC with like total authenticity. And like last night, I really had like a breakdown on DuPont Circle, like sitting on the steps of a random building. And there were a whole bunch of people walking past me. And like, they didn't say anything. But I will also say, I'm not like a loud crier. So that could be like a reason why no one really said anything either.
Well, do you think that if someone sees someone else crying in public and feels safe and comfortable to do so, that they should be like, hey, sis, are you okay? Like, is there a community cultivation aspect to crying in public that you'd like to see?
You know, when girls are like drunk and you see another drunk girl crying, like, yeah, we do need to bring that sense of community back. Like if she sees someone crying, like, girl, are you okay? Like, how are things? Like, whatever. I do feel that. I know me personally, I bottle up a lot of my feelings and I have a hard time like crying in front of people. Like even like my mom or like some of my best friends, I just have a hard time like crying in front of them. And I think I want to cultivate something like more with that and just like kind of like having that community cry. I would like that if that was more accepted too.
Yeah, well, you'll be happy to know that I cried in public just yesterday. I was at DCA at the airport, and I was at one of those tiny little bars next to the gates. And it was one of those bars where, like, you're, like, ass to ankles. And so there was, like, a white guy in a suit to my right and a white guy in my suit to my left. And we were very, very close quarters. And I just sat there and cried. And neither of them said anything. They intentionally looked straight ahead.
Yeah. I 100% love that. Like, you don't have to talk to me. You don't have to ask if I'm okay. Like, you can, but, like, if you don't ask, I'm not going to take that personally because, like, I am just, like, in the zone. Like, let me release the tears and then just, like, keep it moving. But I think anything, you know, and maybe it should be more of, like, breaking down, obviously, that American individualism and, like, going up and, like, seeing if others are okay, too.
Well, $1 million question. What are the best places to cry in D.C.?
Obviously, anything by the water, so Buzzard Point in the Yards. I think, actually, the Yards, personally, they have, like, the little benches by the water, and then there's, like, a bridge to walk over, and then they have, like, trees. I would also say the library too. I was just thinking about that. I just really love the library. So like MLK Library, they have that rooftop, and then Southwest Library has a patio too. And then Southwest Library is just like really nice in general. So
will you actually go somewhere because you're feeling like a good cry and you know like, oh, this will facilitate a good cry. I'm gonna go to this waterfront to like get the waterworks moving.
Yeah, it literally is. Like I will literally do that. I do schedule them. Like I'm always just like, okay, I need to like go somewhere and just like, because sometimes I feel like crying in my room is a little depressing. But like no shade to anyone who does it. We all cry in our rooms, but like I said, I'm an outside girly, so I don't know what it is, but I just like to be like kind of in a big open space and just like being able to just like kind of like cry and just like kind of like shed those emotions and like just get that release.
What do you see as the future of crying in public in DC? Like, are you hoping to build this into something that does create that like kind of collaborative crying community?
I do. I've been thinking about it. I feel like there's a whole bunch of stuff like that I can do with it, which I love, but I am going to try to like do like community cries. So we're going to see how that works. I've had people like email me and reach out to me like saying like if they wanted to connect or like giving me places, but I'm thinking about that. Like I'm thinking about like a map to like different spaces and stuff like that. So I have a lot of ideas. Like there's so much going on.
Well, Kiera, thank you for encouraging all of DC to have a good cry and let it out. The TikTok is called Crying in DC. Thank you for being here.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you for having me.
That's all for today here on CityCast DC. If you enjoyed the show, why not tell a friend, rate the show, leave us a review, and subscribe to our morning newsletter. And if you enjoyed this conversation, consider becoming a CityCast member. It might give me one less thing to cry about in public. You can do that at membership.citycast.fm. And we'll be back tomorrow morning with even more news from around the city. Talk to you then. If I ever see you crying on Metro, I'll definitely be like, are you okay?
Thank you. I appreciate it.